morning one and all. Today we'll discuss the next topic like transfer function of an LTI system. Generally the transfer function of an LTI system is defined using the Fourier transform. Later we can define it by the Laplace transform also. That the transfer function is being defined as the ratio of Fourier transform of the output to the Fourier transform of the input. Generally the Fourier transform of the output is y of omega and the Fourier transform of the input is x of omega, provided with the input as x of t and the output as y of t. Therefore, the transfer function of the system of an LTI system will be given as h of omega is equal to y of omega by x of omega. And this h of omega is a complex quantity having the magnitude and the phase, which can be written as the magnitude as mod of h of omega and the phase as e power theta of omega, where that it will be written as e power j theta of omega. Hence the h of omega will be written as mod of h of omega into e power j theta of omega, where the mod of h of omega is the magnitude response of the system and the theta of omega is the phase response of the system, right? Next one, filter characteristics of LTI system. In the filter characteristics, let us consider the system with the response as h of t and the input as x of t and the output as the y of t. Therefore, x of t whose Fourier transform as x of omega and the h of t impulse response as then corresponding response frequency response as h of omega and the output y of t whose Fourier transform as y of omega. Therefore, the system modifies the spectral components of the input and produces the output spectral components. That basically the system is nothing but which transforms the input signal and produces the output signal y of t. When we tell it the same thing in the frequency domain, therefore the system modifies the spectral components of the input and produces the output signal. Hence the system will act as a filter for various frequency components. For the low frequencies, some action will be taken. For high frequencies, it will take some action. For the band of frequencies, it will take some action. Therefore, what we'll say is some frequencies are boosted in strength, that means they are being amplified, and some frequencies weakened in strength and they are being attenuated. Similarly, that each frequency component suffers a different phase shift in the process of this particular transmission. That is, the process of transmission will take place like this. Next one is a system that modifies the spectral components of the input, producing the filter characteristics. An LTI system therefore acts as a filter. A filter basically is a frequency selective network which will select a particular frequencies and will select the another frequencies. That means some frequencies will be boosted and for the some frequencies it will be weakened or attenuated like that. That means the filter which selects a particular frequencies will be boosted and all the other frequencies will be weakened or it will be attenuated. We consider the different types of a system. Basically an LTI system acts as a filter which basically selects a particular frequencies. That's called as a frequency selective network. Some LTI systems allows the transmission of only the low frequencies like this and stops all the other high frequencies. Hence they have been called as the low pass filters. That means which allows the low frequency signals and stops all the high frequencies, called as the low pass filters. And some LTI systems allows the transmission of only the high frequency components and stops all the low frequency components. They are being called as high pass filters like this. There are the other two types of the filters, like the first one is some LTI systems allow the transmission of only a particular band of frequencies and stops all the other frequency components. They are called as the band pass filters. They are being called as the band pass filters. Next, similarly, an LTI system rejects some transmission of only the particular band of frequencies and allows the particular other frequencies. That's been called as the band rejection filters. When it passes a certain band of frequencies, it's called as band pass filters. When it rejects the certain band of frequencies, it's called as band rejection filters. Next one is the distortionless transmission. Basically, distortionless transmission is when the system does not undergoes any type of distortion in its output. Now, what we need to know about the distortion. Distortion is the signal where the output, where the distortion is the signal where the output will not be distorted, means the shape of the signal cannot be changed and the amplitude and the shifting in the signal can be happen. That is, if the shape of the signal is changed, then automatically distortion is said to be occurred. If the shape is not changed, then the distortion is not being present in our output. That is why the distortion is said to be, the transmission is said to be distortionless if the input and output have the identical wave shapes. That is the distortionless transmission. Let the input is the x of t and the output is our y of t. We'll observe that the output is being increased their amplitude from the 1 to the k, and the output is also be shifted by the t naught units when compared with the input. That is, the shifting at the output and increasing the amplitudes is not considered as our distortions. Only the shape of the output is being changed, then it is said to be called as distortion. Therefore, without any distortion, the output can be given as some k into x of t minus td. That's k means the amplitude will be increased by k, and the distorted means it will be given by the and shifted means it will be shifted by the td units, where td is the delay time. And taking the Fourier transform on both sides, that's Fourier transform of y of t is equal to Fourier transform of k into x of t minus td. Therefore, when we keep the k as been outside, then the Fourier transform of x of t minus td. When we perform the Fourier transform of that x of t minus td, k into x of omega into e power minus j omega td. That's k into x of omega e power minus j omega td will be our Fourier transform. Next one as, next that h of omega can be written as the y of omega by x of omega. Therefore, k into e power minus j omega td. We observe that h of omega is equal to k into e power minus j omega td. This k into e power minus j omega will have the two parts. That k will be equal to the magnitude part, mod of h of omega, and minus omega td will be nothing but our phase part, theta of omega. That is magnitude spectrum as well as phase spectrum. The magnitude spectrum will observe that it will be continuously constant value of k, and for all the values of the omega. Similarly, the phase spectrum will observe that it will be linearly increases from when we see for the positive values of omega, its value is negative. For the negative values of omega, its value is being positive. Therefore, this graph, these are the two conditions for the distortionless system, that the magnitude spectrum will always be constant and it should be equal to a particular value of k for all values of omega. And the linear and the phase spectrum should be the linear, with the theta of omega will be minus omega into td. That is the phase spectrum.